There have been a lot of good things and a lot of bad things that happened throughout WWE's history. We're going to play a little game called Fire or Trash WWE Edition. The game's really simple. I'm going to name out some random topics throughout WWE's history, and I'm going to decide whether or not I think it's fire or it's trash. And you all can play along as well in the comment section below. Let me know if you agree or disagree with my picks. But before this video starts, make sure you hit that subscribe button. Also, like and share this video. If you enjoy wrestling content, this page is for you. I hope you like the content, and I hope you enjoy this video. Let's start with Jinder Mahal as WWE Champion. Listen. I already know where most people are going to put this, okay? I know most people are going to put this in the trash spot, okay? I know a lot of people didn't like Jinder Mahal because him winning the WWE title was just so random. Like, Jinder Mahal was doing nothing, literally nothing on WWE television for God knows how long. And then all of a sudden, he wins a #1 contenders match on SmackDown to have the opportunity to go face Randy Orton for the WWE title at Backlash and beats a legend like Randy Orton to become WWE champion. It was so random. Jinder Mahal went from being a jobber to WWE champion in the span of like a month. So it was very random. But honestly, I didn't mind Jinder Mahal being WWE champion. I'm gonna say fire. I'm gonna say fire. Listen, some of y'all gonna say I'm crazy. I know some of y'all gonna say I'm crazy, but I didn't think Jinder Mahal as WWE champion was that bad as some people make it out to be. Like, was he a great WWE champion? I wouldn't go that far and say he was, a spectacular, top tier, one of the all-time great WWE champions. But was it that bad? I don't really think so. I thought he was a good heel WWE champion for what it was. I don't know. I didn't mind him as WWE champion. I honestly didn't mind it. I didn't mind it. Now, like I said, was it a great run? It was okay. It was okay. Could it have been a little bit better? Absolutely. Could his promos have been better? Sure. Could his matches have been better? Everything, about it could have been a little bit better, but was it really that bad for some people? Maybe it was that bad, but for me, I didn't mind it. It was different. It was unique. Like, I don't know. I thought Jinder Mahal played a good role as a heel WWE champion. I thought he did his job very well, or he did his job the best that he could. So, for me, listen, some of y'all gonna say I'm crazy, but I'm gonna say fire. I'm gonna say fire. Seth Rollins and The Fiend Hell in a Cell match. Listen, if anybody puts this in fire, you gotta explain to me why. It's trash, by far trash. One of the worst booking decisions I've ever seen happen in WWE. And I don't really get that frustrated when it comes to wrestling stuff. I'm just not that type of guy, but this thoroughly pissed me off. This made absolutely no sense. You can't justify this. Not only did this kill Seth Rollins as a babyface, but they overbooked The Fiend as this dominant force. Like, it was just... everything that could possibly go wrong in this match happened. It's like the WWE creative sat down in a meeting that day and said, let's book the worst possible Hell in a Cell match of all time. And that's what they gave us. Hell in a Cell ends in a no contest. It's a Hell in a Cell. There are no rules. There are no rules. Anything goes in a Hell in a Cell. Everybody knows that. Everybody knows that. Seth Rollins takes a sledgehammer and he bashes it on top of a few weapons laid on top of The Fiend's body, and that's where we draw the line in Hell in a Cell. That's where the match has to end. Are we forgetting Mick Foley got thrown off the cell and chokeslammed through the cell all in one match? If there was any time to stop a Hell in a Cell match, it was that match right there. That was the time to stop a Hell in a Cell match. I think people would have understood, okay, we might want to stop this match because Mick Foley looks like he almost dead. The match continues. But this is where we stop a Hell in a Cell match, and then after the match, The Fiend gets back up and he just puts Seth in the mandible claw and stuff, and they had the fake blood and everything. Oh my god, it was so bad, bro. Like I said, this killed Seth as a babyface. The fans turned on Seth after this, and The Fiend's character just was overbooked to the max. I mean, I don't understand why The Fiend's character was even going after the WWE Championship at this time, because he was a new, fresh character on the roster. Like, they should have built up The Fiend's character properly as a special attraction instead of just throwing him to the trenches immediately. And then, not to mention, when he won the Universal Championship, how did he lose it? Lost it to Goldberg. So, yeah, this all was terrible. This all was terrible. It didn't turn out good, and it ended terribly. I mean, this is one of the worst booking decisions I've ever seen. I will never, ever go back and watch this match again, and I will never ever justify this. You can't justify it. It's not possible. It's terrible. It's trash. The Rock selling the Stone Cold Stunner. Oh, this is absolutely fire, man. I mean, The Rock is the greatest superstar to ever sell the Stone Cold Stunner. How many times has he oversold that stunner and made it look great? Like, there have even been times where he made Stone Cold laugh in the ring from overselling the stunner. Like, The Rock selling the Stone Cold Stunner is a masterpiece. I would love to see The Rock take one more stunner in the ring from Stone Cold and do that oversell just one last time, because it's been, oh my god, it's been years. Like, the last time The Rock took a stunner, maybe like 2003 or something. Like, oh man, I would love to see The Rock take one more Stone Cold stunner and just oversell it in the ring, man. Like, The Rock takes the best stunners, no doubt. It's definitely fire. Brie Bella's theme song, Primo, trash, garbage, one of the worst theme songs in WWE history. I don't know many people who I've met in my life that have told me, yeah, I sit down and listen to Primo. There may be a couple out there who see this video, but you on an island with a very few collective set of people. That's all I'm gonna say. Like, Primo is a top 5 worst theme ever in WWE history for me. Like, just the beginning, that Primo, oh my gosh, it's there. Yeah, this ain't it. Trash. Homo sapiens. Listen, being an Homo sapien, it's a way of life, man. Y'all should know. Fire, man. Y'all should know, man. The Homo sapiens gonna rise. Rise up. If you see this video, let me know if you're an Homo sapien or not, man. Rise, man. Listen, Homo sapien, being an Homo sapien is a way of life, man. Some of y'all need to get hit, man. Being an Homo sapien, way of life. Fire, man. Listen, Homo's time gonna come one day, okay? It's gonna come one day. And when it happens, Homo sapiens, we gonna rise. We gonna rise. The PG era of WWE from 2008 to 2013. Listen, I'm gonna say it. The PG era was fire, and I know a lot of people fell out with WWE during the PG era because obviously they changed up the product, like they got rid of blood, the storylines weren't as edgy anymore, and for people who were from my era, when we started watching WWE, they had all that. They had blood, they had edginess when it comes to the storylines, but WWE was evolving and changing, and I just learned how to evolve and change with it, and there were a lot of great things that happened in the PG era, like 2009 Menace Randy Orton happened in the PG era. The infamous pipe bomb, the Summer of Punk, happened in the PG era. The 4-year WrestleMania storyline between Undertaker, Triple H, and Shawn Michaels happened during the PG era. The Rock and Cena feud happened during the PG era. Like, there were a lot of great things that happened during that era, and I just feel like because it went PG and people were looking at PG like, oh my gosh, the WWE is PG, I feel like a lot of people just kind of gave up on the product, or just, you know, people were just looking for, I think, more like Attitude Era, Ruthless Aggression Era type stuff. But the WWE, like I said, they were changing, they were evolving, they were becoming a bigger global company. You know, they were trying to get to a higher goal, and by doing that, they went PG. So I understood it. And even though it did kind of suck, they got rid of some things that I grew up on and wanted to see happen. The PG era still had a lot of great things that I think, you know, a lot of people don't really look at and realize what era that's from. Like, there were a lot of great things that happened from the PG era that people still talk about and remember to this day and share clips on social media all the time from. The all-women's WWE pay-per-view Evolution. The first ever all-women's pay-per-view in 2018, I thought was fire. I really enjoyed this show. I'm still kind of upset they actually never did another one. Like, I would love for the Evolution pay-per-view to come back and have another all-women's pay-per-view. I thought the first one was incredible. Like, a lot of great matches on that show. Like Becky Lynch and Charlotte Flair, that last women's standing match was elite. That was one of the best women's matches I've ever seen in my life. Like, that match was really, really good, man. And there were some other great matches on the show too, man. But the first all-women's pay-per-view I thought was really fire, man. I really enjoyed it. Do-rag Vince McMahon. How could this not be fire? How could this not be fire? It's Vince McMahon in a do-rag. Vince McMahon in a do-rag. It's golden. It's golden. If they ever made a statue of Vince outside the WWE headquarters, they need to do it with a do-rag on him. Put a do-rag on the statue of Vince McMahon if it ever happens and they build it outside of WWE headquarters, because Vince in a do-rag is just incredible. It's incredible. How could this not be anything else but fire? It's Vince McMahon wearing a do-rag. WrestleMania 18. Y'all ready for this one? Y'all ready? Trash. WrestleMania 18, to me, is one of the most overrated WrestleManias of all time, and I'm going to tell you why. There were really only 2 good matches on that card. Undertaker vs. Ric Flair was a good match, and Rock vs. Hulk Hogan is one of the greatest WrestleMania matches of all time, one of the greatest matches just in general. But realistically, there's really only one match that people ever really go back and watch and talk about on that show, and that's Rock vs. Hogan. Everything else on WrestleMania 18, if you ask me, is very forgettable. Like, the main event of WrestleMania 18 was Triple H vs. Chris Jericho for the Undisputed Championship, and that really didn't even feel like the main event. Like, WrestleMania 18 was just very overrated. Like, a lot of things are forgettable on that show. If you take Rock vs. Hogan off WrestleMania 18, what is WrestleMania 18? Do people even still talk about that WrestleMania without Rock and Hogan on that card? Because I don't think so. Because that's the main thing people go back and talk about and watch. Like, Rock vs. Hogan literally was WrestleMania 18. Other than that, Undertaker vs. Ric Flair, they had a good match and a good story leading up to it. But everything else was, like, forgettable. It really is. Bra and panty matches. I mean, of course, my inner child, you know, I grew up watching the Divas era when they were doing bra and panty matches, you know, watching 2 women fight in their bra and panties. You weren't gonna hear no complaints from me back then watching, you feel me? But women's wrestling has evolved so much since then. Like, you know, the women are great athletes, you know, they have great matches. Some of them even have better matches than the men. Like, they've over-exceeded so many expectations of what women's wrestling used to be presented as to what it is now. I gotta put it in the trash, man. Like, bra and panty matches. Just imagine they did a bra and panty match now, like today. Like, if you saw Bianca versus Charlotte in a bra and panties match at like WrestleMania or something. This is like, what? Like, that's not what women's wrestling is anymore. Like, that's in the past, you know what I mean? Now, obviously, for, you know, what it was back then during the Divas era, that's just what it was back then. It was just kind of normal. Like, this is what the product was. That's what women's wrestling was about then. You know, it was used as kind of like sex appeal. But it's overexceeded all the expectations of what that it used to be. Like, you go back and watch a bra and panties match, and then you go watch, you know, a match like Rhea Ripley versus Charlotte Flair at WrestleMania, and then it's like, oh my gosh, like, it just completely blows it out the water, you know what I mean? So, of course, old school wrestling fans probably gonna say bra and panty matches, you know what I'm saying? Like, I wouldn't complain in watching it back. Thanks for watching this video. Hope you guys enjoyed. Also, like I said, make sure you hit that subscribe button, share this video, give it a like, leave it in the comments below whether, you know, you agree with my picks or you agree with my decisions or not, man. Let me know. And if you want to see more videos like this in the future, also let me know in the comment section.